Hello, my name is Mark Anthony Dubose Jr., and I was born July 4th, 1986. I just want to read something up front and just bear with me. I'm not the best of the best reader, but I'm trying to do what I can. My son, if you accept my words and store up my commands within you, turning your ear to wisdom and applying your heart to understanding. Indeed, if you call out for insight and cry aloud for understanding, and if you look for it as for silver and search for it as for hidden treasure, then you will understand the fear of the Lord and find the knowledge of God. For the Lord gives wisdom. From his mouth come knowledge and understanding. He holds success in store for the upright, and a shield for those who walk is blameless. For he guards the course of the just and protects the ways of his faithful ones. Then you will understand what is right and just and fair, every good path. For wisdom will enter your heart, and knowledge will be pleasant to your soul. Discretion will protect you, and understanding will guard you. Wisdom will save you from the ways of the wicked man, from the men whose words are perverse, and who have left the straight paths and walk in dark ways, who delight in wrongdoing and rejoice in perversiveness of evil, whose paths are crooked, and who are devious in their ways. Wisdom will save you also from the adulterous woman, from the wayward woman with her seductive words, who has left their partner for her youth and ignored the covenant she made before God. Surely her house leads down to death, and her paths to her spirits of the dead. None who go to her return or attain paths of life. Thus you will walk in the ways of the good and keep the paths of the righteous. For the upright will live in the land, and the blameless will remain in it. But the wicked will be cut off from the land, and the unfaithful will be torn from it. It's the book of Proverbs, the second one, the whole thing. I just want to say today something that I think is much more important and needs to be said, and said more and more with a lot that goes on in this world when you want to talk about God and understand who God is and everything about what God is all about. That there's something that I've come to realize today, and I've been thinking a lot about. Last night I was doing a lot of praying on God. Where do you want me to go next? What do you want me to do? And all that can come to me is what it is I want to talk about today. And that's the concept of, I don't know how to say it other than just saying it straight up. I don't want you to subscribe to what me, Mark Anthony DuBose Jr. is doing. I don't want you to like what Mark Anthony DuBose Jr. is doing. I don't want you to share what Mark Anthony DuBose Jr. is doing. I want you to like, share, and subscribe to the Bible, to God, to Jesus. I want you to hear something that I say and not think to yourself, that's silly, that's stupid, that's meaningless, that's not going to do anything for me, but share in something inside of you to just say, let me pick up that. Something that I want to say up front is grab the book of Proverbs. That's a very interesting way to start getting a good understanding of knowing who God is, because he's slamming in an abundance of wisdom in such a short amount of time. An abundance of wisdom that you can read one a day and be able to get, I'm not even 100% sure how many there are. Let me look at that real fast. But you can read one a day, and in short time, you can learn so much about who God is, what God is all about, what he's here to offer, what he's here to do for you, how he's going to be able to help you, how he's going to be able to bring you out of problems that are going on with you. Yeah, exactly. This is beautiful. There's 31 Proverbs, and that is 31 days, and that is 1 month of just reading one every single day and dedicating your life to subscribe to that. That's what I want you to do, and that's what Mark Anthony DuBose Jr. is looking for everybody to do. That I don't want you to follow me and pay attention to me and think that I'm going to be the one that's going to be able to bring the peace to you. I'm not. I'm just a simple, pointless, mere, simple human being. I am nothing compared to what God is. And God is an absolutely incredible, amazing, magnificent being that is going to be able to help you with what it is that you're looking for. I would never, ever, and I can never, ever, and I will never be able to say the right things to you to be able to get you the assistance, to help, to get you out of the problems that you're in, to get you to be on a different life plan than where you're at if you want to change that. And or get you into a life plan that is going to be able to bring more success to you. I can't do that to you. I'll never, ever, Mark Anthony DuBose Jr. will never be able to say the right words to you to get you to understand who God is. Only you, reading God's word, reading what he's given to us to be able to understand about him, reading what it is that he's given to us to be able to learn more about him, are you going to be able to find what it is that you're looking for in this life. I will never be able to say the right words. I can tell you stories about things that I've gone through and things that's gone on with me. I can tell you stories of what I believe certain things in this Bible even mean. I can tell you those stories because they're based on what it is that I've had to deal with and what I've gone through in life. But you've gone through something completely different than what I've ever gone through. And I'm going to 100% guarantee that. And for some of the stuff that I've gone through in my life, I pray and say I would never, ever want someone to have to go through some of the things that I've gone through. Because it's so tragic. So tragic in a way that some people and a lot of people, and I read about this, that people don't make it through some things that happened to me. So I'm reading this Bible in a way that's geared towards that, to be able to assist me, to be able to get me through some problems that I have, and problems that are going on with me. And that's where I'm going to say it's an absolute beautiful thing, because I've been asking, praying, and testing and pushing this whole concept of why there's so many different editions of this Bible. And there's different editions, but they all say the exact same thing. They have different words here and there, just minor word changes that they want to put in it. Those minor word changes are just, I'm not going to say mistakes, but things that we as human beings do to try to make us so that we can understand things more and understand it a lot clearer, as opposed to it being not the right message. The NIV, the ESV, the King James Bible, the New King James Bible, every single one of them is teaching you the exact same message. The exact same message of who God is, what God is all about, what is God able here to be able to do for you, and what God is going to continue to keep on doing for you, even if you don't believe in Him. Even if you don't believe in Him, He's given you the sun to be able to grow what you need to grow. He's given you the rain to be able to make sure that we can grow what we need to grow. He's given you the animals to be able to have an unlimited abundance of food to be able to eat. He's given you the vegetation so that you can have an abundance to be able to eat. He's given you clean springs of water so that you can have a clean abundance, a source of water to be able to survive off of. God has given you, even if you damn and damage Him, the availability to be able to live on this planet. He's given you every single thing that you possibly could need to be able to live on this planet. That is such an amazing thing for God to be able to give to you with you even not even paying any attention to Him. Something that a lot of us should just really think hard about, that concept, that in reality, still to today, especially here in the state of Texas, we can hunt quite a bit of places, and in other places you can do quite a bit of stuff, that you could source and find food off the land that you don't even have to pay for to be able to get, to be able to eat, so that you could be able to move on and be able to go on to another day. God has given all that to you for absolutely free, a free overabundance of it all out here. And that's something that is absolutely amazing. And with that being absolutely amazing of all this free stuff out here and things for you to be able to do out here, I would never, me myself, would never be able to say a word to you to be able to help you find what it is that you're looking for in the places that you're struggling in life. I never will be able to. I never will be able to. And the only thing that's going to be able to bring you that is God. And reading His book, reading His text, reading the words, so you can learn more about Him, so you can get closer to Him, so you can start to understand Him, so that you can move forward with being able to rely upon Him, as opposed to relying on yourself or trying to rely on another human being to be able to give you what it is that you're looking for. There's just a huge push today going on that is just absolutely maddening. That I just see it. I just see it, and I don't know what it is, but I hear it, and I just constantly keep hearing it. It just sickens my stomach in a way, where everybody's trying to buy my merch, buy my shirts, buy this, and Jesus says, stop turning my church into a storehouse, into a storefront to try to sell all this stuff. He came and He was flipping tables and He was raging on these people for doing such a thing, but yet that's what we're doing as a society today with the church. Give money to me so that I can go and buy this and buy that church and buy this building. And God has never once said that in His Bible, to do such a thing. He never said to any of His, especially when you think about the whole disciples and the discipleship, He told them, don't take anything with you. Stay and use what it is that they give you and move on and keep on going. Don't store up anything. Don't gather anything. Go empty-handed, and then you will be taken care of. To be a priest, to be a priest, to be a prophet, to be a minister, to be a pastor is such a hard road to take, because you are not collecting and storing up items. You are to just move and get the bare minimums to barely survive. And that's why it's such a hard thing to do. It's such a challenging thing to be a part of, and to be blessed and be able to know that everything is going to be taken care of, because God's going to take care of you. Not because you're storing up all this wealth to be able to put here and put here and put here and put there and put over there and buy this and buy this and buy that, so that you can. No, that is not at all what God is looking for his people to do, that is spreading His message, that are talking about His message. That is such backward stuff that's going on today. And that's why it's very interesting that a lot of these people are making it seem that they are the ones that are giving you the word to be able to live by. I got 5 things how to be able to live a successful life, to be able to do such a thing. 6 things to be able to realize if the enemy is looking at you. 7 things to be able to pray and do, to be able to get God to listen to you. All that is for you to worship that human being, and that human being knows that. That's why they say to you, subscribe to my channel, like my channel, donate to my channel, donate to my ministry. They're saying all this because they want to be the center of attention as opposed to giving it to God. God is all that matters. I want you to share the message of what God is. Don't share my message. I want you to subscribe to the Bible. I want you to pick it up. And I even want you to get to the point of if you don't have one and you're just like, I don't have the funds to even get one, like contact me and I will mail you one so that you can have something to look at, so that you can read through it, so that you can get a better understanding of knowing what's going on here. That some people are going to give the excuse of I don't have and I don't this. And I'm going to say today, if you even have a cell phone on you, I guarantee you have a Bible with you. And that's what you should be sharing. That's what you should be subscribing to. That's what you should be liking. You should be looking at your Bible and you should say, that's interesting. I want to share this passage with somebody that needs this, that can learn from this, that understands this, because we're going through the same stuff together. Don't share my video to them because it's just not going to resonate with them. It's not going to mean anything to them. It's going to be meaningless to them. It's going to be absolutely pointless to them. Share the word of God with them. Say, I got this passage here and this is what it is, to open up God, to give all 100% of the glory to God and continue to keep on doing that. Giving me any sort of glory, giving any other human beings any sort of glory, that is false representation of who God is, and that's where the Antichrist and the Satan and the devil is all within the church today. All within the church. They want you to make sure that you're constantly following them, constantly studying them, constantly monitoring them, as opposed to paying attention to who God is. Listen to God. And it's just, it's maddening to me on today. And because someone wrote that comment to me and I had to stop and I had to quit and I had to like, that's true, buddy. How am I going to sit here and be preaching about the God and preaching about this Bible and I'm not even talking about it? I'm not even putting the passage out there. I'm not even saying anything about it. And I don't even know much about it. So I had to take a break to say, let me actually read the whole dang on thing so I can figure out what's going on here. And it's just maddening to me that someone will come up and say certain things and they'll say, oh, it's biblical. If it's biblical, then you should have a passage after passage after passage after passage after passage after passage after passage to be able to reference to what it is that you're talking about. And if you don't, then it's not biblical. And for me, I'm not a pastor. I'm not a minister. I'm not a priest. And thank God for that, because you're in a different position when you start to do such a thing. And that's where it starts to get a really sticky, beyond sticky situation. And then here in the United States of America, especially when you want to try to get these 501c3s and you want to start to get all this stuff, you cannot talk about certain things anymore once you do that. Once you do that, you're officially locked into what it is that you can do and what it is that you can say and what it is that you're all about. And that, to me, is you're selling your soul for money. You're selling your soul to the establishment to make sure that you don't talk about certain things that you know that you need to actually talk about, but you got to dance around some stuff so that you can keep on collecting donations. You're selling yourself out. You're selling yourself out at that moment and not being able to preach the 100% true word of who God is. And that's such just blasphemy is what's going on with that. That you're putting out there just false information, not giving the whole real truth about it, not giving the full thing about it. That is blasphemy. That half a lie is a lie. 3/4 of a lie is a lie. Just because you're putting some truth in there, and if you're not putting in the rest of everything else in there, you are lying. And lying is not what we're supposed to be doing out here to each other, trying to help each other out. And that's why for me, I'm going to say, I'm not the one to follow. Jesus is the one to follow. I'm not the one to follow. God is the one to follow. I'm not the one to follow and study. The Bible is the one that you want to follow and study. I'm not here to make sure that I will never, me as a human being, be able to lay some hands on you and be able to get the demons out of you that are in you. No, God can do that by reading His text, by paying attention to what He's looking for from us to be able to do. I have a good understanding of what God is looking for me to do to be able to get the demons out of me, to be able to get the wealth that I need, to be able to get the freedom that I need, to be able to get the peace that I need, to be able to get the satisfaction that I need. I know what I need to do based on reading the book to be able to have a good understanding of what God has put into my heart that I need. I'm different and we're all different. We're all unique. What works for me, I guarantee you, is not going to work for you. I'm not going to be able to come up to you and say that I know this and I know this book and I know all the verses and I can lay hands on you. I'm going to take demons out of you. You're going to be good to go and move on with your life. No, that is 100% blasphemy. That is 100% false. That is 100% just the devil's work all around, all up and down. There's no such thing as that. There's no such thing as things that we need to work upon our own selves to figure out how to be able to get that peace that we're looking for. No one's just going to come around and just heal you of all of your sickness and all of your diseases. There's just no such thing as that. And someone would say, oh, the Bible states that. Jesus says that. Yeah, Jesus is talking to a specific group of people and a specific people to be able to do such a thing. That's not just for any and everybody. It's not for any and everybody, because there's also a story that Jesus explicitly states about that. That, hey, I know who Jesus is. I know who Paul is, but who the heck are you? I don't know who you are, and you're not going to be able to do what it is that these guys do, because those are the only ones that are capable of doing it. You're not going to be able to do this because you're looking into doing it for money. You're looking into doing it for fame. You're looking into do it so that you can get more clout for your own self, so that you can get more eyes upon you. You can get a bigger reputation in the streets, that you have the biggest following. You're not putting anything out when you're putting money into it. When you're begging for someone to say, you're demanding for someone to give you money, and then you'll be able to be healed. You are blasphemy, 100%. That is not what God is looking for us to do. That is not what he's instructed any of us to do. That is not what Jesus did. That is not what any of his disciples have done. They never walked up to him and said, hey, I'll take this demon out of you, but give me 20 shekels of silver. Where was that stated? Where was that said? Where did Jesus say, I'll take all your sins away if you tithe to me every single week? I'll take all your sins away if you give me all of these offerings. He never said that one time. He walked and said, you want to be healed? You want to be healed? Well, your faith is going to make you be healed right now. You're healed. You're good to go. You don't have to give. You don't have to provide. You don't have to do anything to be able to get in the good graces of understanding of knowing who God is and knowing to be able to get saved by Jesus. There's none of that. And there's a lot of manipulation going on today, that they're just picking and choosing and using Bible verses and using this and using that to try to get you to think that they know what they're talking about. And I'm telling you, this Bible can be used in all kinds of ways that are so demonic, because if you wanted to say something, you can pick and choose what you want to make it say something. But that only deceives those that don't have a good understanding of it. That only deceives those that are not picking it up and reading it for themselves. That's why I will say to you today, do not subscribe to me, subscribe to God. Subscribe to his book. Subscribe to picking up his text and reading something for yourself, and start to do a little bit each day. Get the book of Proverbs. The book of Proverbs is, I'm telling you, everything beforehand. It's giving you all of the information, all of the knowledge of every single thing before it. And that's a lot. It's a lot of information to be able to just hit you with nice packaged ways of being able to understand who God is, what he's all about, what he's here to do for you, give you knowledge, give you wisdom, give you understanding, give you everything that you need. What the heck to stay away from? It even goes through that, just like that in Psalms 2. Stay away from certain types of women that are acting like this. And it goes into great detail about this stuff. So it's not just for men, it's also for women to say, like, what if I'm doing something that this is saying that I need to stay away from? And then for men to say, what if I'm doing this? Because it's very interesting. Just stay away from people that are because that's one that I really, really appreciate being able to see, because this is something that I got jammed up with in my life personally. Stay away from do not set foot on their paths, for they rush to evil, they are swift to bloodshed, however you spread the net. So this right here, if they say, come along with us, let's lie in wait for innocent blood. Let's ambush some harmless soul. Let's swallow them alive, like the grave, and whole like the way down into a pit. And we'll get all sorts of valuable things and fill our houses with the plunder. Cast lots with us and share the loot. So what we're talking about here is, we're going to go steal from some people. We're going to go take from some people. We're going to go set up some scams on some people to try to take from them, take from the vulnerable, take from the weak, take from the ones that are struggling. And then we're going to stay. It says stay away from people like that. Stay away from people that are doing anything like that. Stay away from people that have any sort of schemes that they're putting through and trying to convince you to get into it. To say, hey, you know what? I know it's not all that great, but the money's good, man. The money. We're going to bring the money, and the money's going to be able to do something for you. It gives you so much insight. And there's 31 Proverbs, and there's just about, it depends on the month that you start on, but there's just about 31 days. But it's 30 days. So maybe just read 2 one day and just read the whole thing, and you're going to get an extreme amount of understanding about who God is. And I'm telling you, that's going to open up something to you. It's going to open up something for you to actually read it for yourself. Don't listen to anything. Don't listen. You listen to somebody read it to you. But listen to someone, what they have to say, and then move on with your day. And then allow God to start to come into you. Allow him to come into you. Allow him to speak to you. Allow him to start to put a little bit of pressure upon you to get further and further into the text, to start reading some more and reading some more to figure out where it is that you want to go. We are in the year of 20 of the 23. We are all, not all, but most all of us on this planet today are pretty highly educated. And highly educated is being past the 1st or 2nd grade in reality. That's very highly educated. I mean, kindergarten, preschool today are reading at this point today. I wasn't doing that. We were still coloring and doing stuff when I was in kindergarten. But preschool today is already getting kids to read these little books. So we are all extremely highly educated, that we all are able to and capable of being able to learn and be able to understand this information. We're no longer just I don't know. No, we know. And if we can't read, we can listen. And we are in the 20 of the 23 that there is an unlimited abundance for us to be able to get someone to read the Bible to you. And even if you're blind, there's someone that can read the Bible to you. And even if you're deaf, there's someone that can braille the Bible to you. There's ways for all of us to be able to have this information. It's not just this one person that you need to continue to keep on following to think that they're going to be able to help you and be able to save you. I'm telling you, they will not. I will never, me, Mark Anthony Bowles Jr., will never, ever be able to save you from your problems, from your addictions, from your struggles, from your grief, from your pain, from your tragedy. I will never be able to do such a thing. I will never ever sit here and be able to say a message to you to be able to help you get through an addiction, to help you get through emotional problems that are going on with you, to help you get through problems that happen as a child that you're just like, I don't know how, I'm stuck. I don't know where to go. I will never, ever, 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 ever be able to sit here and say a message to you to be able to help you out with that. But I do know one person and one being and one thing that can. The God that created this the world, the God that created the heavens and the earth, the God that created all this vegetation, the God that created all these animals, the God that created the sun and the moon and the stars, the God that created the wind that you can't see but you sure can feel it, and you can watch it do some extremely damaging but at the same time amazing things. The God that created the rain to be able to fall out of the sky, the God that created the system to keep on doing that. It's like a crazy system on how water goes from the ground, it goes into the sky, and then it falls back down. It just keeps doing that over and over again. It's just amazing how perfect it is. The God that created, I mean, every and any little thing that you could possibly see, you, yourself, and every single person that you interact with. That's the God that can help you through all of your addictions. That's the God that can help you through all of your issues. That's the God that can bring the peace to you. I never will be able to, and not another single human being on this planet will ever, ever, ever be able to do such a thing for you. And if they're sitting there, or they're standing there, or they're approaching you and saying that they can, I'm telling you, that is blasphemy beyond, that is just demonology beyond, that is just satanistic beyond, that is just ruthless madness. Because they will never say a message to you to be able to help you. They never will. Only God will. Only God entering into your soul, entering into your heart, entering into you is going to be able to communicate to you what it is to help you be able to get through some things. Because a human being is only going to lead you towards what it is that they think and they see is what's best for you. And they are always 100% wrong. We as humans are 100% wrong 100% of the time when we try to get somebody out of what it is that we think is going on with them, because we will never, ever, ever know what's going on with you. I will never know what your struggles are. I will never know what you've gone through. I will never know your pain. I will never know your greatnesses. I'll never know your weaknesses. I'll never know what you value the most in this world. I'll never know any of that. But I do know one thing for a fact, that God knows all of it. He knows everything about you. He knows everything that you've done. And the day that you say, God, Jesus, I'm here. I'm here for you. I believe in you. I trust you. I have faith in you. And he says, I don't care about even what you've done anymore. Everything you've done before, who cares, man? You with me now. And it's an absolute blessing to be able to have that, because you right away will have something lift off of you. You right away will be able to move and just be able to do something differently right away. When you just dedicate that, you just say that, Jesus, you the one. I don't care about all the rest of this stuff. I know I was wrong going over here. I was wrong going over there. I was wrong relying on this guy, on that girl, on myself even. I was wrong on all of that. Jesus, you are the way. Jesus, you did come here to be able to simplify my life, to be able to sacrifice yourself, and to be able to make sure that I would be able to have a future to be able to move into. Once you decide to make that and understand that there's one God that created all of this, the heavens and the earth, that has created this and that for us to be here, you are going to instantly have something lift off of you. But when you have the doubt, that's where you're going to be on a slippery slope. That's where you're like, I believe in it, but yeah, what about Jesus? Just like, just believe in it. And that's for me to sit here and just say, just believe in it. Don't believe in me. Believe in Jesus. Believe in God. Don't believe in me. Don't trust me. Don't hear what I have to say as always being right, always being perfect. I will never, ever be that. I'm going to say something that's going to piss you off one day. I'm going to say something that's going to frustrate you one day. I'm going to say something that's going to make you super excited, super happy one day. I will never, ever be able to do anything to be able to help you or damage you. I will never be able to. God will only be able to be the one to be able to help you out with what it is that you're looking for. And I don't want any of the credit. I don't want any of the validation. I don't want any of the standing ovation. I don't want any of that. I don't want anybody to look at me and say, wow, that guy, he's pretty incredible. No, you are incredible. You are fantastic. You are amazing. You are great. You are just an absolute supreme being on this planet. But you don't believe that because you don't understand and knowing who God is. Because you are a supreme being when you have God to be able to be your backing. But when you're just out here all by yourself, yes, you are confused. You don't know who you are. You don't know what you represent. You don't know what gender you are. You don't know what race you are. You don't know what age you are. You don't know where to fit in. You don't know any of that when you're out there by yourself. But when you decide to say, God, I need you, that's the only way you're going to be able to find what you're looking for. You're not going to be able to hook up and link up with a group of people that all look like you and all talk like you and think that they're going to be able to figure out, you're going to find your identity through them. You're not. The only way you're going to find your identity is by just giving up on every single human being out here and going straight to God and asking God, I need help. I need help. Can you help me? And that's when God, he does miracles. He does work. He puts in action. He does what he does in such an amazing way, because that's when he shines. That's the whole concept of the entire Bible, of how it's written, why it's written, and what it's talking about. He shines when it's just, I don't know where to go and I don't know what to do. I'm not sure what I'm supposed to do. I'm not sure who I am, I'm not sure. Why am I alive? I'm not sure. I just want to kill myself every day. I don't know what's going on here. And God's like, I can help you. I can do you. I can make something happen for you. I can get you through that. But another human being will never be able to do such a thing. And the more and more that we're sitting out here trying to praise and validate and trying to worship humans, thinking that they're going to say the right message to you to be able to get you out of something, that they're going to be able to lay hands on you and be able to get demons out of you. No, only God is going to be able to do that for you. Only God. Anything other than that is just an absolute level of Satanism, is all that is. That is not getting you closer to the understanding of knowing who God actually truly is and what he's all about and what he's here to be able to do for you. God is here to do some absolutely incredible things for you. But it's a matter of what is it that we are seeing and doing and being about for him to be able to do such a thing for. It's such an interesting thing of these messages today of don't this and don't that and God is your buddy and this and that. No, God is not our friend. There's a such thing as like we have a parent and a child. Parent and child are not friends. We're not buddies. We're not homies. We don't hang out. We don't drink together. We don't chill together. We don't go on vacations together. No, God is a supreme being, beyond beings, beyond it all. I'm not like him, going to be like him, going to be sitting next to him, going to be sitting at the round table and eating lunch with him. No, that is not at all what the relationship is here. That I have a level of fear upon me based on what it is, who God is, that he could do some absolutely incredible things to me. And the closer and closer I keep on getting to him, the more and more I'm going to say that fear in reality starts to climb and get greater. But the main thing behind that is that fear is allowing me to be able to live a complete abundance lifestyle on this planet. An abundance way of being able to see the absolute amazing things that are out here. Seeing what is awesome, seeing what is great, and pursuing more into it, and having more opportunities, and being able to have more people to come to me. It's an interesting thing. And it's not for me to be here and do something and show something and make you think that, oh, I can't this and I can't that. Who cares what I got to say? Go to the text, go to Bible, go to God. Don't go to me. Don't think that I'm going to say something to get you what it is that you need. I won't. I guarantee you that, but God will. I'll be able to read some things. I'm going to be able to say some things straight out of this text that maybe if I read it up front and you hear it and you're just like, oh, that's pretty interesting. Now go read it and read it again yourself and reread it and reread it again yourself. And then when you reread it, keep on rereading and just keep on going in it and keep cycling in it. And then you're going to be able to find what it is that you're looking for. You're going to find that peace. That peace isn't going to come from listening to what another human being has to say. If that human being is just speaking, me speaking my life, speaking what's going on with me, is never going to help you. It won't. In reality, it's only going to frustrate you more. It's going to piss you off even more. It's going to irritate you even more because you're going to try it and you're going to fail. Or you'll try it and it'll work. But that's not, even if it does work out for you, that's not what's going to give you the level of success because you've done better than me. But that's not how you're going to find what it is that you're looking for. You're going to find what it is that you're looking for by, for one, stop trying to compete with human beings. We're not in no competition out here to do what we do. Now, if you a runner, you basketball star, yeah, you got stuff to do to be able to stay on to do what you got to do. But as far as trying to think that I'm a supreme being, a better being, a more righteous being, a more holy being, I do more works than you being, you're not going to be better than another human being out here doing what you're doing. You just never will be. And when you're looking at your life trying to compete and try to compare with stuff like that, like, well, my cows don't look like that, my dogs don't look like that, my hair don't look like that, my makeup don't look like that, my dress don't look like that, you're competing against a human being. And God is trying to get you to get out of that. And that's for me to say to you, go straight to the text and stop trying to think that a human being is going to be able to bring you out of your misery and or put you in or strip you of your happiness. God is the only thing that's going to be able to help you out on this planet. The only thing. No human will. And myself, I never will. And I never ever want to sit here and try to make it seem like I want someone to give me some validation, to give me some I don't know what word to use other than validation, because validation is just really what it is. To build my ego, to make me think that I'm the one that's helping you. No, I'm the one that's in the middle here, that's beyond on the bottom. That I'm the one that's going to give you one verse, two verses, something to read, and for you to go read it, and then for God to take over. I'm never ever going to take the credit for that. I'm never going to. I'm never going to say I'm the one that I got eight people saved this week. No, God got 8 people saved this week. I fed 8 homeless people this week. No, God fed 8 homeless people this week. I got people out of their addictions. I got 5 people who lose all their demons. I got their addiction. No, God got all the addictions out of these people. That's all that matters. That's the only thing that matters, and that's the only thing that's always going to continue to matter until the day this earth is gone, is no more. That's all that matters. And if you have a human that's sitting here talking and praising about how many people they've saved, how many people they got to Christ, how many people they've done this, they are all in it for the fame of themselves, and they got their reward on this planet already. And you do not want to put yourself in the middle of that. You do not want to stay with that, because you're going to think that that's what you have to do. That is not what you have to do. What you have to do is get them to know that God is the one that's going to fix them. God is going to be able to do for them. God's going to be able to help them out. God's going to be able to work for them. You will never be able to work for them. You'll never be able to do anything for them. You're only going to be here to just, in reality, piss another human being off, because they're going to say something and do something that you're telling them to do, and it's not going to work. You're going to give them those 5 tips of how to pray and what to pray about and the right way to pray, and they're going to do all of that, and they're still not going to find the relief they need. And then they're going to look at you, and they're going to hate you, and they're going to be just so mean with you. And then what are you doing? You're getting them further away from God, because now you're putting a sense of envy in them. You're putting a sense of jealousy in them. You're putting some rage in them. You're putting more insecurities in them, because they're doing the 5 things, and they're not getting the success. You're putting people further and further and further away from knowing who God truly is and what He's all about. You're pushing them further away. There are no 7 steps to be able to find how to be able to get closer to God. The way to get closer to God is to read God, is to read His text, to read His words, to read what He's written for us to be able to have a good understanding of learning and realizing who He is. Not by listening to someone who's going to cherry pick verses here and there to try to put a message together. No, read the text, read the book, read the whole thing, get a good understanding of it. A verse here and a verse there and a verse here and a verse here and a verse here and a verse here is only just forcing a message that you want it to say. And I know that because I've done that. I've been totally a part of that. I could tell you what I want it to mean, and I can put it together, and I can make it say what I want it to say. But is that what God wants to say? Is that what God is looking for? Because when I'm sitting down just thinking for my own self for what it is that I'm looking for, I realize I don't need to do that. I could just read a whole chapter in any book and get a whole lot of insight on that for what it is that I'm looking for in my life. But I get stuck sometimes, and I want to convince you that this is what it is. And I never will be able to do such a thing. I will never, me, sitting here, standing here, being out here, doing what I'm doing, be able to convince you that what I'm doing, what I have is right or wrong. I never will be able to. I'll never be able to say to you, see, I got it all figured out. See, God says it here, Jesus says it here, Jesus says it here, the prophet says it here, the disciple says it here, and that's why you should believe it. None of that is going to make you believe it. The one thing that I know for a fact and guaranteed is going to make you believe it is by you picking the text up, you reading the text, you praying and asking. And one thing that I would say and add into that, where a prayer that I would always continue to keep on adding and saying over and over. And it's got nothing to do about give me those 5 steps. I would say, hey, God, give me a beginner's mind. Something that I learned. I went to a counseling thing. We used to play disc golf. It was one of the coolest things. And we would just chat it up. But we had these 7 things to how to help you. And let me tell you, not a single one of these 7 things helped me, because I was relying upon that human being to give it to me. But I would pray this prayer on something that I learned here. I said, give me a beginner's mind. God, give me a beginner's mind when I read this Bible. Don't let anybody else's outside influence me, but let me read it and have it for myself. Let me give me an intimate relationship with me and you in this text, so that I can learn what it is that you're looking for from me, that I can learn what it is that you want me to go. Ask God for that. Don't ask me. Don't ask anybody else. Don't put a prayer request out there. Pray for me and pray for this. No, pray for you. Pray for you. You sit down and you pray. You say, hey, God, give me a beginner's mind so that I can be able to understand what it is that you want to say to me, and start reading the Bible. Start reading the book. Take it up. Read a couple of pages. I'm telling you, you can't read it. Get it on Audible and start listening to it and start paying attention to it. And constantly keep on saying that, God, give me a beginner's mind, because I don't want anything that I've ever heard to influence what I'm about to hear right now. Because what you're about to say to me, I know is the truth because it's what you've written down in your book for me to be able to understand. He's written the truth down for us to be able to know. He's written the truth down so that we can know about him. He didn't write no lies down. He didn't write no manipulation down. He didn't write no deceitful things down. He wrote straight up. And if he says something, he's got 5 other places minimum in different places in the Bible to verify and back up what it is that he's saying. He doesn't just put out something that's super firm, especially because I was questioning that stuff about the whole sacrifices. Oh, Jesus came and we don't have to sacrifice animals anymore? That just doesn't make sense. And the Bible specifically states that, hey, there's going to come a time in this time when Jesus is here and half time with Jesus here and bam, we don't have to do no sacrifices no more. So I was like, okay, cool, squash that, finished, done. Every single question that you start to have is going to be answered in that text. I'm going to guarantee you that. And the reason that you're not going to find it, if you don't find it, or you don't think that you find it, because you're asking the wrong questions. And or you're listening to what somebody else had to say about it. You're listening to what you learned from somewhere else. A lot of what I read in here is nothing like anybody has ever told me and ever taught me. Because they were using it in their lens of trying to get something that they wanted. When you want to convince somebody to give you money, the Bible can give you all kinds of verses that say, you have to give me money. But if you read it and have a good understanding of where's that money supposed to go and what that money's supposed to be used for, you'll have a good understanding of realizing that maybe I should actually hold my money from that person because that person wants to use it to manipulate me. And when you put it, and he says it, do not give your tithes to the dead. If you're using it for manipulation, you're giving it for no good reasons. No good reasons are reasons of nothing, which nothing is death. You don't want to do that. You want to make sure that your resources are going something that's going to be able to go somewhere to be able to do something. So when you want to read this Bible and you want to try to make a message to push something that, because you want, I want, and I've said this and I've done this, that I want you to believe that this Bible is for everybody. And because there's some people out there that say that it's not. So I was looking for every little place and every little thing to say, up, see right there, see right there, see right there, see right there, as opposed to just saying, you know what, God, you'll handle that. You'll figure that out. I know who it's for. I know it's for everybody. I know what it's for. I know it's to help us be able to have a good understanding of how to be able to live on this planet. Not just to get you out of bad stuff, but to what to do when you're in the good. Because sometimes you're in the good and you don't know what to do. Sometimes you have an overabundance and you don't know what to do with it. And you need to figure out what to do with that. Because a lot of times having no money is just as bad as having too much because you don't know where to put it. And you don't know where to put it because it just drive you absolutely insane of knowing what to do with yourself. And the Bible is there for all ways of life, for all peoples, all situations, for all ages, especially kids that are just seconds old inside of the womb. They're seconds old. You get that spark hit, that sperm hit that egg, and the spark hit, bam, the Bible's for you. You should be already reading to that, we call that the fetus. You should already be reading to that inside of that stomach already at that moment. Because like for me already up front, my sperms that are inside of me are already hearing the word every day, all day, over and over and over. So they're already getting God inside of them. They already are because it's inside of me. And already when it goes in there, that girl's already going to get hooked up and hit with it right away instantly because it's already in me. And if she's already in that, then it's already there. It's already God's word, God's Bible, God's everything already inside of that. And that's who that Bible is for. Every single, not haven't even my sperms and the eggs. They're not even put together yet. It's for everything out here. I mean, not the dogs and the trees and the cows. I don't know, my cows are just hanging out right here in front of me. They kind of cute. But it's not for that. It's for us as human beings. It's for us to figure out how to be able to live on this land and be able to do and be able to have what it is that we need to be able to have a blessed life, how to be able to bless other people, and how to be able to function on this planet. And it's such an interesting text to read because it's just when you have questions, you could find the answers to it. I'm never going to be able to give you the answers. I just won't. Because I'm going to give you what it is that I believe for me based on my life experience. And it's not going to be appropriate for you. You didn't go through what I went through. I guarantee you that. Especially me at my age, 37 years old on this planet, being the color I am, having to go to school events with my mom, looking nothing like me, completely the wrong color. You didn't experience that. And there's a very, very slim amount of people on this planet that are my age that have had to deal with that. In this country even. Like that, it wasn't normal in the 80s. It just wasn't. 2000, yeah, it's normal today. But it's different today because it's a different life. You didn't see the hate and the extreme amount of what was then is racism. It was straight up that I had to see. People tell me that's not my mom. Who the hell are you to say that that's not my mom? I hang out with that woman bathes me, that woman puts me to bed, that woman helps me with my food, with my homework, that woman cooks for me every single day. That's an amazing woman. You're gonna tell me that that's not my mom because she's not the same color as me? It was just maddening to me. You don't know that. So when I read this text, I've got something different going on just from that one little simple aspect of my life right there alone. That you're going to have different problems and different issues. And the only way that you're going to get that is by understanding and listening to God. Don't listen to a human being to think that that's going to give you and be able to bring you out of your misery, to bring you out of your issues, to find you that peace that you want. No, God will. So that's why for me, I say you want to follow somebody, you follow the Bible, you follow the Word of God. You want to share something, you share the Word of God. And that's why for me, I'm going to always, and I always have been for a little while now, is continue to just keep on reading a whole text, reading a whole thing that's going on here, reading something so that you can have a very good, clear understanding of what's going on here. I'm not just going to hit you with a Ezekiel 4:14 and just bam, see, this is what God means. No, that's manipulation and that's deceitful. I need to know the whole thing of what's going on here. Why? What's the context? What's happening here? That's what I'm all about today, and I'm going to continue to be about, because that's what all that matters. God's word is all that matters, not me. You want to subscribe to something? I'm telling you, go find you the online Bible. Whoever's got an audible version on the YouTube, and subscribe to that, and cancel every single other one of your subscriptions that you have, because they're all pointless for you. They're not going to help you out. They're not going to bring you any freedom. They're not going to bring you any peace. They're not going to bring you out of any of your addictions. They're not going to. They never will be, and they never were intended to. Only God is. God is the only thing that's going to be able to do such a thing. And if someone is going to sit there and say, I need money from you to be able to help you, that's the most crookedest stuff in the world. If somebody says to you, you need to buy this and buy this and buy that so that I can be able to help you, that's the most crookedest stuff on this planet. If somebody says to you, oh, the reason that you're struggling is because you're not giving to me, that's the most crookedest thing possible on this planet. You got to give to God. You're not going to give to a human. And especially, you're not going to give to a human if you don't even know who God is. And if you don't even understand the whole process of the whole situation here. Your money is worthless if you don't even understand what it is for, and what we're doing here for, and what our resources are actually for. Your money is pointless. It's pointless to give if you don't know what's happening here, because it has to go to the right place. And if it's not going to the right place, your money is pointless. And I'm telling you, most all money that's going out today to these organizations, to these churches, to these pastors, to these ministers, to these priests, to all these people, is worthless. It's going nowhere. That's why you're constantly tithing every single month. That's why you're constantly giving every single week. And you're not finding any sort of relief, any sort of anything. Nothing's coming to you. Nothing, no sort of peace is coming to you. No sort of satisfaction is coming to you, because it's worthless money. It's money going nowhere. It's money that's being destroyed. It's not going to actually help and do what it's supposed to be doing. And it's something that a lot of us should really pay more and more close attention to. Just to give is pointless. Giving $20 to a homeless person and him to just go buy some more drugs, not to say that every homeless person is on drugs, but let me just change that. Giving money to someone who's begging you, this is a situation I ran into with my own self. Giving money to somebody to go buy some drugs is not money well spent on giving and giving offerings and doing for. That is money that is going absolutely nowhere, because that money is going to absolute destruction. It's not helping that person. It's not gaining them any clarity. It's not bringing anything good to them. It's doing nothing but just destroying them more and more and more. And that's why for me, I got cut off. I had to get cut off, because I'm just going out and doing ruthless stuff with this. You can't do that. You can't be a part of that. You can't think that good things are going to come to you with doing such a thing. In reality, you're going to get conflicted more and more and more. Heavy-hearted. You're going to lose more resources more and more, because God is going to have to come and say, hey, stop giving my money to these fools. Stop giving my money away. It's not going anywhere. I want you to hold on to it. You already don't have enough, and you're just trying to give it all to these people because they're manipulating you to take it from you. It's so devastating. It's such a tragic thing. There's not a single human being on this planet that should be getting the credit. All the credit goes to God. And with that, I want to say thank you. A main thank you to God for being able to just give me the more understanding of what it is that my role, and what it is that I should be pursuing, and what it is that I'm all about. That I don't want validation. I don't want the credit. I don't want any fame. I don't want any following. I don't want anything. I want exactly what my analytics state on my YouTube channel to just continue to be, and to continue to go in the direction that I want it to go. The day that I started this, that I already had a very good understanding of knowing what it is and who it is that matters the most, and that's God. That 10% of my videos are seen by subscribers. And I'm like, how do I get that to 1%? I want a new person always. I don't even, you seen me? Go pick up the text and start reading some stuff. And I'm thankful to know that that's all that matters. And I'm thankful to see that what it is that I'm doing is actually working, because it's bringing in a new person every single time. Every single one of my videos, a completely new person is watching it. So I was like, God, I'm at 10%. Can he bring me down to 1%? I don't want the same people to keep seeing it, because I'm not going to help you. I'm not going to bring you out of your issues. I'm not going to bring you into what it is that you're looking for. Only God will. And I would never be able to handle and deal with the stress of knowing of how to be able to just get you to be all right. I can't. I'm not God. I'm not supreme. I'm not no amazing being to be able to do for you. When me and God linked up together, we can do some incredible things. And once you have that same link up, you're going to be able to do some incredible things. But me and you can't link up and do, in reality, some incredible things. We just won't be able to. We're on the same field here. We're on the same game here. When we need some help, we need some help from something much greater than us. I can't get some help from someone who's on the same game with me. Like, where are we going with it? We're not going to be able to do anything together. We need to go to who has all the authority, who has all the power, who has all the righteousness. We need to go to that. And that's all that matters. And I'm thankful, because that really just is able to just take a lot of pressure off of me. Realizing and being able to do and doing what it is that I do. Take the pressure off of me, because there's too much pressure in reality to save everybody. I got 10 people to Christ this week. That's too much pressure. No, God got you there. I didn't do anything. I may have said a word, and hopefully the word out of a Bible for you to read, but I didn't do anything. I didn't save you. I didn't bring you to Christ. God did. God said, moved me. He put me right here. He sat me here. He's given me the funds to be able to do what I could do. He's given me the camera. He's given me this little mount thingy, because I was like, I'm struggling because it takes so forever for me to set it up and the angles of this and this. So he hooked me up with a person to be able to give me this thing so I could set this camera up in a freaking flash. He's giving me a camera to be able to do what I need to do, to work with what I already have, so I don't need to upgrade anything. He's giving me all of this. He's giving me a microphone system. He's giving me a voice. He's giving me the inspiration. He's giving me an abundance of Bibles to be able to be able to use. He's given me just all of that so that I can come out here to be able to get you to get to him, not to get to me. Don't come to me. Don't follow me. Don't be all about me. I'm not the one that's going to do anything for you. God will. God will only be able to do such a thing. And if you're following somebody, this is the main thing that I'm going to say, because I know this. I've seen this. You're going to these churches and you're just trying to find the answers, and you're going and you're not getting the answer. And you're not getting the answer because that pastor is not leading you to the actual answer. The pastor is trying to get you to just stay with them and stay with them and stay connected to them, keep listening to them. And one day you're going to get it if you keep listening to me and you keep doing everything I tell you to do. That's what that pastor is doing, and that is extreme manipulation. Manipulation is witchcraft. Witchcraft is demonic. Demonic is satanic. That's what that is. They're not trying to get you the information to actually being able to get to God, because that's what you need. God's the only one that's going to help you. No human being. Thank you.